Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at the firmware 2.0 update for the Peak. This is a continuation of Synth Saturdays. This time around I'm going to be talking through my process of just kind of experimenting with some of the changes, maybe make some lo-fi patches or something like that. I do have this Akai MPK Mini hooked up to my MPC Live 2 off to the side, which is then sending MIDI to the Novation Peak. It is using a 5-pin DIN cable this time around because I have the USB cable hooked into the computer. So I was doing some component, the Novation component update and stuff like that. Also, side note, I did find I was having some MIDI timing problems with my previous setup using strictly USB on the MPC Live 2. So if you guys have been experiencing MIDI issues through the USB interface, you're not alone. I think what made me realize it was I was playing stuff and then I'd play it back on the MPC and I'd be like, that's not the timing that I had, but am I really that off? So I was kind of investigating and digging a bit deeper, and it does seem like there's some MIDI issues with the USB implementation. And it could be depending on the number of devices or the type of device, or because I've had I think 8 devices plugged in there in the past. And yeah, it seems like it could be a compounding issue. You know, software, it's got issues, but yeah. Let's talk about the firmware 2.0 update. Again, this is just a super casual video where I'm going to be having some fun making some patches. Initialize. So one of the cool things that I really like is using noise as a modulation source. So let's drop the filter and then just go to modulation, noise. Actually, first off, pitch. Already, that sounds so cool. What a brilliant update. I wanted to modulate the frequency though, so let's actually go to another thing. Go modulation noise again. Destination is the filter frequency. Too much on that. Actually, let's drop it. So cool. Love that character. Let's throw a little reverb on there. A little bit delay. Now you can modulate the delay time as well, which I believe is in effects. Well, one thing about the Peak is you do have to do kind of menu divey type of stuff, which isn't terrible once you know how it works. Anyways, this is besides the point. FX slots. So if you're new to the Peak, modulation sources do not contain FX slot modulations. They're in their own thing on the FX side, so a little confusing initially. So let's go noise, and then destination is, let's do delay time. Yeah, let's see what this sounds like. So cool. Just instant static, but not like, you know, just applying static on top of it. Like here's noise. So cool. Drop this back down. Four on here. You know what, let's go adjust the pitch of just one of these with the noise. See what happens with that. Let's go oscillator 1. Oscillator 1 pitch. So obviously too much. Let's connect that to the animate button. Now, another thing that they finally added was was envelopes to the animation buttons, and I basically ignored the animate buttons for the entire time I've owned this. Like I've owned this since 2018. Bought it used off of Reverb, and I've never actually wanted to use the animate buttons because they're just on off, and just sounds so like unnatural when you have that on off. And unless you're doing a specific type of music, but like generally for the things I write, I never wanted to have something just suddenly go on off, you know? So like the animate buttons were useless to me. Finally, you can ease into an animate shift and ease out when you release the button. It's like, these are finally useful to me. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Let's go animate 1. So now, see, it's just like on off. I believe if we go noise now. Okay, so now animate 1 is making the noise come in, which goes to oscillator 1 pitch. So we want to adjust the curve now, or the envelope. So let's go envelope here. Look at that. It's like all the way on page 7 and 8 for envelope 1 and 2, which is great. So let's crank this up. There it is, yeah, it's working. That slow increase and then releases immediately. So now let's put a release in there. Infinitely more useful. Let's turn down this delay. That's so cool. Let's make a big reverb. So, reverb model number 3 is always the ambient cavern sound. That is great. I'm so happy about that. I think I need to turn down the modulation of the, oh yeah, it's in effects. The modulation of the effects delay time. It's just a touch too much. Let's turn it off. 1. Wow. It's kind of all or nothing right there. Turn this down. Such a great texture. Love it. I do want that in there. Cool. Very nice. So another thing that was added is different chorus models, which I actually really like the sound of the chorus by itself. It's a nice digital effect. Let's see, effects. I think it's in the beginning, yeah, chorus. So chorus mode and then feedback. Give a little feedback. Flanger. That's cool, you know? Nothing crazy though. Cool. I'm gonna save this for now. Init patch 100. So another thing they added was different spread, pan spreading type of stuff. So I think, what is it, is it oscillator? No, voice. Yeah, voice spread, and then different spread modes. Alternate, diverge to, no value. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure what's different about this stuff. There we go, spread. I guess it's a bit more consistent with what you want in there. I'd have to look into the details, but you know, I kind of like to just jump into things and see how it feels. Let's go 100%. Cool, yeah. Let's go back to that noise modulation. What should we modulate next? Shape amount. For this, let's go pulse. And then let's modulate the shape. So noise is going to get modulating to... Can I do all three? Now you have to do it individually. All right, let's start with the first one. Ooh. Oh, that sounds so cool. I absolutely love the way that sounds. I'm a sucker for just simple sounds. Like, give me some simple little adjustments. Just sound good, and I love it. We're going to also modulate this with the LFO. Let's slow this down. Let's also modulate the LFO rate as well with another LFO. How do I want to do this? Let's use LFO 4. Destination LFO 1 rate. Yeah. just a little subtle texture movement right there. Okay, I really like the shape being modulated here. In fact, maybe I should add some other... Like, that's just one oscillator right now. Let's do the same thing. So let's have the noise, oscillate, shape 2. I'm gonna start it offset though. But we're gonna have LFO2 do some stuff. Maybe LFO2 will be sample and hold. Some more noise and noise. Take that off. Let's make this more of a pad. So that's with no reverb at the moment. Let's give it the old cavern reverb. Let's have the animate do something here. So we want animate 1. Maybe the delay level. I wonder if I have to do this in effects. Yeah, I think I do. Effects. Okay. Animate 1. Distortion level, chorus level. Delay level. Maybe I want feedback instead. Yeah, let's do that. Delay feedback. Mm-hmm. So, same thing, envelope, animate, level, attack. Let's do like a long release, or a long attack and release. Yeah, that's working. It's going away a little too quick, though. Like this. Would have been nice to have the release a bit longer to work with on there. Just for me personally. It's still usable, obviously. Sounds awesome. Let's go to oscillator 3, which is not in the mix yet. Okay, let's go modulation. Let's do noise again, but this time let's carry it with animate 2. Yeah, animate 2. We're gonna go oscillator 3 shape. Okay, envelope to animate 2, give it some long release time, attack time type of stuff. Need to dial back that voice spread a bit much. All right, let's save this patch as well to 101. So our first patch. Second patch. Nice. One more patch. Something I just remembered that they did was added chant for the arpeggio. I don't always use the arpeggiator in this, but this in particular is really cool. So let's start doing our thing here. Maybe let's slow this down a little bit too. And maybe the type, should we do up? Oh yeah, we want chord for this to happen. Actually, I guess you could probably do it with the other ARP stuff as well, but with chord, you then start doing ARP chants. And suddenly, you have like a really cool keyboard part just automatically through chants. Go back to ARP chants to like what, 20%? Or no, 25%. Now this is a perfect example of wanting to use the animate buttons but not have them just go on and off. You want to like gradually push and pull something. So for instance, like the release. Like we want the release to come down here and then release back up. So let's do that. Go modulation, tracked, go animate one. We want the amp, envelope, release. Yes, and we want to cut it down. Yeah, something like that. So let's go envelope. Beautiful. So much better. Cool. Now let's throw some noise in here because I freaking love the noise. We want the noise. Let's also attach it to the LFO. LFO 1. Slow this down a little bit. Actually, let's go the square thing on here and let's go LFOs. Slew rate. So it does a little curve thing. Okay, back to the modulation. Destination on here is going to be, let's do the filter frequency. I love the way that sounds. Such a sucker for it. Just adding a little dust. It's so nice. Love the way it sounds. Let's go back to the arpeggio. Let's go 20% chance. Add a bit of swing. Let's go chord 1 just to change it up. Rhythm 2, maybe 3 octaves. Rhythm 8. Probably needs a bit more chance. What an awesome keyboard part. Let's have animate too. Throw in some distortion. Animate dosed. Oh yeah, FX. I keep forgetting. Animate 2, please. Distortion level. Let's crank it up. Whew. Maybe a little too much. Okay, envelope. Crank that up. Crank that up. Max out the attack. Man, the animate stuff is so much more useful at this point. Like, good job, Novation. Well, I think it's a good update. Very happy with it. I think it breathes a lot of life into a lot of new potential into the Peak, and to kind of like dirty things up a bit more. Like if you felt like things were a little on the clean side for some places and you didn't want to just add distortion to things and or just add noise in general, I think this adds a huge amount of like palette that was on the lo-fi side that was kind of missing. I mean, you could always do lo-fi stuff, don't get me wrong, but just having that like texture, you know, it's like adding grain on top of stuff. It does a really good job with that now, and you can add it to so much stuff, like the delay time, you know, like shape. Obviously, pitch is a great one to do. The frequency filter, cut off places, and all that. So really, really cool. And those animate buttons are finally useful to me. So really awesome. I had some pretty big problems updating my Peak. So just real quick, you know, it is updated, and I was able to get through this. But when I plugged it in and loaded up the website to do the update, it hung. And then it like hung at 0%. And I was like, uh-oh. So I left it for 30 minutes. And came back and it was still broken, and like the website froze as well. So I was really like, oh God. And so I turned off the Peak, turned it back on, and then it just loaded to the bootloader, and it was like no firmware. I was like, is my Peak bricked? Good God. I was really freaked out about that. Luckily, reloading the website in components and giving it some time to do its thing fixed it. And then it was able to recognize that a Peak was plugged in and it needed to update the firmware. So then it officially updated the firmware properly, thank goodness, and it's working. So, but I had a good 30 minutes where I was freaking out and thought my Peak was bricked. And yeah, so just to let you guys know in case you are running into problems. I still need to update my Summit, so gonna do that next. But yeah, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. This has been another Synth Saturdays. Memes and I got lots more content coming for you guys. We just recorded 6 ambient tracks this week. So those are going to get released sometime this month once they're all mixed and mastered and all that stuff and videos put together. But yeah, really excited to bring more content to you guys, and shout out to our Patreon members as well. Thank you guys for supporting the channel, and shout out to everyone who watches. As always, a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new is greatly appreciated. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Deuces.